Welcome! It is July, and we're going to be debunking some ghost videos like normal. My name is Nick, this is You Don't Scare Me. Let's get started.
Can anyone tell me what this is?
They're fingerprints on your wall.
Looks like handprints, almost like scraping down our wall.
It's very likely that your hands were dirty when you were gardening or something, and you stepped on your couch to go and brush away some cobwebs, and you didn't even realize that you were bracing yourselves on the wall. Ask me how I know. I used to have a shelf above my bed that I would keep things on, and then while I was working on my vehicles, I would go inside, crawl up on my bed, and then grab something off the shelf, but I would brace myself on the ceiling. I used to notice handprints on my roof, on my ceiling. And it was just me. I just didn't realize I was doing it because it was so unconscious. I suspect that you're doing it on purpose.
That's the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
And I guess you're in a pretty good spot if that's the creepiest thing you've seen. This is a continuation from the previous video. There was a couple more to run through of this lady, so let's see some more. I know that it's tempting to think of her reactions as genuine, but the problem is that in the previous video that I posted yesterday, there was a cut in a continuous shot. Anytime you cut the video, you lose absolutely all credibility. So even though we're in the first 2 or 3 minutes of this video, and it might seem that I'm being overly harsh against this woman, don't worry, it comes from about 40 minutes and then additional an hour and 20 minutes of doing my own private searching through her channel, understanding the type of people that they are. She's full of shit. And let's just be the devil's advocate here, or play the devil's advocate here, and let's assume for a moment that it's possible that she's being serious. The scratching sounds like it's coming from an entire different apartment. So if there's not somebody directly on the other side of that wall just pawing at it to make the scary video, then I would hazard a guess to say that she's just misidentifying somebody scraping the floor above her. She does live in an apartment and she's not on the top floor. I'm going through the video again. I'm still editing. It's day 2, and the second half of this video I'll be wearing this shirt. I did notice upon review of that video that the curtain gets yanked off to the side, but the curtain's side is beyond the door, so he's probably just her husband hiding behind the door, yanking the sheet down. I don't think that it's paranormal still.
I'm the only one here right now. And as you can clearly hear, there's just someone out there.
I know that there's a lot of people who are watching this video right now that might not be wearing headphones or earbuds, or might not be able to hear the video at all. If you're willing to take my word for it, or get a pair of headphones and listen closely, you'll hear that the vocal track of this video is in mono, but the knocking is in stereo, specifically left ear. There's no knocking coming from the right ear. So if you go back and play the video again and take one ear off and then play it again and take the other ear off, you'll find that the knocking disappears, but his voice doesn't. This means that he's taken a mono recording on his cell phone, imported it into a editing software like DaVinci Resolve, and didn't make sure that the track was mono when he added the sound effects of the knocking. Sorry, dude. Yeah, screwed up. This is like the 5th time I've tried to record this, so I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible. There is a mask performed on this video. The mask goes from here to this edge of the cupboard and runs all the way down to the point in which it terminates on the chair, and then the mask carries along the edge of the chair down to here. And that's my statement. My statement is that this is a composite shot where the left side of the screen has been recorded at a different time than the right portion of the screen, and they've been stitched together to seem as though they're happening simultaneously. And my evidence is this. When this cupboard door opens fully, there is a luminance change in the entire kitchen, except for on the cupboard. See it? See that hard line right across there, right down the edge of the cupboard? Okay? Which you may disagree with me, and that's fine. But now look at the chair here and notice the luminance change when this cupboard opens. It only affects the chair and the side of the cupboard. See? So if I zoom all the way out and you see the whole video, and I just rapidly move it around, you see how the lighting is all messed up around that cupboard? This is 3 different shots that have been composited together. Or 2 different shots, but I say at least 3 because of the final point with the drawer opening here. So it's possible that it might be like a 2-way composite, and then he's just cut a portion of the video out to get to the final drawer. So my theory is that he's standing here when this cupboard opens, he's standing here when this cupboard opens, and then he's sitting here when this drawer opens. This is a multi-composite shot. Don't worry about this. I have to do a really weird thing to make sure that the audio sounds good. So here's my curtain. I made this curtain. And if you notice that if I pull my hand the opposite direction, the curtain opens the other way. So my pinky finger right now is acting as a snatch block. So what you do is you thread a wire through the entire curtain, and then you attach it to the farthest point that you want. But then you take the string and you bring it back across, and then you wrap it around some stationary object, or like something like this. My pinky finger right now is acting like a snatch block, because if you wanted to open the curtain normally, you would just pull the wire that way. But then you'd have to be standing over there, which would make you be in view of the camera. So instead, what he did, I think what he did, is he added a rod or something to the end, like a snatch block, so that he can redirect the force so that he can be standing in the cupboard. I made a curtain. Yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? The clothing hanger spinning around, it's basically the same general system. There are enough things hanging on the clothing line that you could easily obfuscate or visually distract away from being able to identify a string. The cupboard door opening could just be him inside the cupboard opening the door. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things are kind of small scale in comparison to what they could be, but all of these things are entirely easy to do. Nothing is particularly shocking. I know it's fake. I could be incorrect about how he's doing it. just because the camera is spinning in the original video and then spinning in the video that it's recording doesn't mean that they're both the same time. You can spin a camera twice. The camera isn't even spinning at the speed that you see in the second half of the clip. The drawer being pulled out is blocked halfway by the table. If you're intending to capture paranormal evidence, I would suspect you'd by now have come up with a much better way of ensuring that the entire kitchen was perfectly captured. The fact that the table is blocking half the view is mad suspicious, dude. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that the string is what's pulling the drawer out from underneath the table, and the camera spinning is an entirely separate shot recorded at a different time of the camera spinning. It's not like you can actually detect anything that ties them together perfectly. If you set something up in your attic in a way that you knew that it was eventually going to fall over, like it's not balanced properly or it's sitting on a soft thing like the insulation layer that you see in the bottom of the video, it's not surprising that something eventually fell over. You can leave the camera up there for months to capture the perfect shot. Riveting. His cup fell over. I have no idea how it fell over. It could be on a soft thing, but he doesn't kick the table. The carpet doesn't move. He has nothing in his hand. There's a decent gap between his hand and the cup. So I have no idea. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes we just don't know. If you have an idea, leave it in the comments down below.
Oh my god. Holy hell. James, that cabinet door just flew open. I literally saw it. Holy shit.
You okay?
I watched it open and it flew. Ah.
Are you good? You want to leave?
I'm okay. It's just like, what?
You got me over here getting like goosebumps.
I literally just watched it and did this.
There was a visual anomaly, an error, something that I wouldn't expect to see in security cameras, and it's this pop-in right here. So that indicates that it's been masked, and then this portion is when it stops being masked.
Why the f taking a picture, bro? This is a video. Come on now. Bro. It won't do anything.
I don't understand. Your phone's a piece of shit. So what? Oh, okay. Sorry. The teacup in the display cabinet moved. Let's take a look at that real quick. The thing about a hutch is that there's tons of gaps all over the place, especially with these specific kinds of hutches. It's really easy to slip a string through. I don't understand why, if he has a GoPro in his hand, he's so serious about getting his phone to work. His phone is irrelevant at that point, because you have the GoPro. Now, some people are stupid, and that's fine. But the fact that he tilted the camera up He's filming himself attempting to get his phone working, and he tilts the camera up exactly when the teacup moves. And the handle of the teacup is positioned opposite of where you would be, okay? Where you can see it. So in my opinion, the easiest way to do this is to simply tie a string around the handle of the teacup. Here, we'll use my ham bowl as an example. You tie a string around the teacup handle like this, you slip it behind the shelf, and then down through the doored area, you know, so that like there's like some fiber board on the back. It's super thin. It's easy. You just slip a wire through the crack, okay? And then if you just pull the string down, it'll tilt the teacup up. And as long as you don't like super like jank it or something, it's not gonna like fall over and break. So it's easy to just kind of gently have it go if you just pull the string a little bit.
There's someone chasing me down the road. Mother.
As she slowly turned her phone toward the path behind her, the camera caught a shadowy black figure moving in the distance.
I left the exposition in because I had no idea what was paranormal about this, but allegedly the strange black figure, which is most likely just, I don't know, another fucking human being on the path? You're in a park, a public park. You're in a public park. And you're freaked out that you saw another human being there? You're dumb. I'm not allowed to say the type of liquid that I think that it actually is, considering the setting, but the liquid, the water that rushed out is what pushed everything off the counter. So instead of addressing it as if you're looking at a paranormal piece of evidence, why don't you go find out what shattered or where the water came from? Maybe a busted pipe or something that swept everything off. It's not paranormal. It's just physics.
Bayağı bir büyük ahır olsun, üst katı falan olsun. Şimdi hepsini size detaylı bir şekilde göstereceğim. Önce normal bir şekilde gezeceğiz arkadaşlar. Sonuçta buraya gelip de normal bir insan ritüel yapmıyor. Ama ben önce normal geleceğim. Kapı kapandı.
Now, if the translation is wrong, that's fine. I don't speak Turkish. I did the best I could. The door closing, probably wind. Look at the structure. It doesn't look like it's all in one piece. It looks like there's probably large holes everywhere. No windows. It's an abandoned structure. What can you expect? Oh, and this rope. I noticed that the whole time. It's swinging. So the wind the wind theory is pretty much confirmed at this point because of the rope, but I didn't notice it until after. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. You can check out one of these videos or one of the video and then a playlist over here. And I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Goodbye.